Absolutely none of us want to get old. We all want to stay 25. That would be the ideal age, right? But, however, we all go through the fears of getting old as wheelchair users. And right now I am 60. And I think that some of my thoughts are, to keep myself in the best shape I can, looking at my mobility, learning how to ask for help sometimes, looking towards the future, especially those who are in using manual wheelchairs and know that their shoulders will give out at some point. Know that there are power wheelchairs. And I know you say, ew, but I have a power wheelchair now. When I was younger, yeah, I used a manual wheelchair, but can't do it anymore. My shoulders are at that level where, and I don't want to press my luck either. And I think that's the thing. Don't press your luck. So, we have to start thinking at this stage how physical changes might affect, mobility and independence and how you will plan for that. And look at your home or where you're living now and, how that will look in 10 years. What kind of things, do you worry about? Common worries, healthcare, accessibility, energy, all of that. And not to see getting older as something negative. Not to see it as something negative, because otherwise it turns into something negative. So our thoughts are powerful. Our thoughts are powerful. So if you think it's a negative route, it's going to be negative. But if you think of positive things and positive changes that will need to happen, then, then it will be a positive journey. And that's really important. Normalize these thoughts of getting older. We all get older. There's no way around it. But it's okay to prepare, not panic. It's okay and important to prepare. Think about the things that you might need in the future, that you can do right now, but you might not be able to do in 10 years. In 10 years, I'll be 70. How will that look for me? And I still want to go fishing. I still want to make trips and look at beautiful things. I still want to go to the Abilities Expo down in Chicago. What kind of things are important to look for in the future? How do we want to shape our future? And, you do have power over some things, and you do have energy now to kind of plan ahead and what that might, look like. If you own your home, more power to you. You can do those home adaptations now, ramps, bathroom safety, especially bathrooms. If there's anything that I would prepare for are bathrooms. Smart home technology, if you're not using it now, start looking at those technologies that you could use 10 years from now. And granted, technology changes very quickly, but there are things that you could start to practice and get used to using now. so it's not a surprise and too overwhelming for you in the future. So, some people say, technology, blah. But it's important to really stay up to date. Like for me to do these videos, I got to stay up to date with technology that helps us, you and me, to function. I had to learn how to do lights. I can turn on that backlight with my phone. And I learned about Amazon, plugs and Amazon light bulbs and Amazon, things for curtains and doors. There's all kinds of automatic things that we could use in the future that it's good to get to know now that we are able to continue to learn. So, power chairs, maintenance and backup plans. Power chairs are not that bad, really. I thought it was like, but my house, the facility I'm in, they got a van, which they could transport me in, and I thought that was awesome. Those of us who had mobility issues and use wheelchairs. So, ta-da. And let's see what else. There's all kinds of changes that have been happening gradually, preparing your living space for comfort and future needs. So you got to look at that. Your kitchen. I have a whole series on kitchen adaptations, and you can start to do that now and start to get used to some technology that could help you in the kitchen or rearrange your bedroom or, just start planning now gradually, things that would be helpful for you in 5 years, 10 years, and those are things that I have to myself think about, health and wellness. I got to keep myself healthy. I'm working on losing some weight and making sure my arms remain as strong as they can be. And I have some surgery coming up, but I knew that was coming. So I wasn't afraid of it because I knew it was coming. I was kind of planning for it, and now it's here. So on November 7th, I go into surgery. It's a permanent fix. Not one that I wanted, but hey. So, for those people who don't like to go to the doctor, it's important to start those regular checkups, therapy, at least once a year to refresh the exercises you're supposed to do at home. Supposed to. So therapy, exercises for longevity. So really important to start caring for this body that will not remain age 25. Mental and emotional wellness, check in with a therapist, see how you're doing. It doesn't have to be long term. It can be, 6 sessions, it can be 12 sessions, and see how you do and just kind of fine tune that thought process. Staying connected with the community. So, seeing what services are out there and where there's some support groups later on that you might want to connect with or connect now. So that would be Froggy in the morning. Really important. Financial and support planning, really important. So budgeting for accessible modifications and equipment that you might need in the future. Talking to loved ones or caregivers about long-term care and what that'll look like. Whether it's entering a facility, I entered this facility on purpose because I knew my health would begin to change and I would be needing some assistance. And I have that assistance now. So I've had to practice to ask for help. I've had to practice to be humble when I have to say, I really can't do this. I need some help there. So, and I've been here for 4 years, going on 5. So, finding resources and support groups. So, if there are support groups in your area, take advantage of that now so that you can, start getting into a mindset. Now, you might be 25 right now, and you don't want to do that. But, you can start thinking about all these resources that are out there that you did not know about, and know that hopefully in 10 years, 20 years, it'll be there for you. Positive outlook. This is so important. Positivity. Because the more negative thinking you do, the more negative it's going to turn. So emphasize, in your self-empowerment to learn these things. Aging doesn't mean losing independence. It really doesn't. There are people who are 75, who are 80, and do really well. So don't think that aging is, ending up in a recliner permanently. No, it doesn't mean that at all. It can mean what you want it to mean. So you got to think of that and start thinking of those things now so that in the future you have a plan. You make a plan on how you want to age. Some things you might not be able to prevent. Like my surgery on November 7th. I couldn't prevent that. I knew it was going to come. I couldn't stop it from happening. But it's here now. And I'm okay with it because I kind of got into the mindset, okay, this is going to be okay. It's going to improve my life. And we'll just deal with it. And once it happens and I have some experiences and things get better, then I'll come on here and make a video about it. But right now, I just want to keep it a little private. So you all know I have a medical procedure on November 7th. I want to look at different people and how they're doing it, in an older age. So you can see it's possible. Aging doesn't have to mean, completely decimated. No, not at all. There are people in their older age that do great, absolutely, wheelchair or not. So really start looking at, I'm 60 in a power wheelchair in a facility. I have great people here, and I have a lot of friends and people I can rely on. All kinds of things. So it's fun. It's a good place to be. Invite viewers, and invite yourself to what are your own tips of getting older? Have you thought about it? Some of our viewers, some of our subscribers are younger. And this video might be crucial, to think about, okay, I'm not going to be this age forever. I'm going to get older. 5 years are going to pass. 10 years are going to pass. 20 years are going to pass. And what is that future going to look like? And I'm telling you, you can shape that future. If you ignore it and hide yourself from the future, it's going to come around the corner and slap you in the face. And then you're going to say, oops, I didn't know this was going to happen. Now, there are some health issues that you can't avoid. But if you work on things and make sure that your health is in tip-top shape or the best it can be, then aging won't be so stressful and scary. It doesn't have to be scary. Not at all. So, really important for you to think of a positive, joyful future in which you can live out a life of exploring, making friends, traveling a little bit, what you can, um, accommodating your home or where you live now to be a little bit more comfortable. And that's what I've done here in my own room, and I've thought of November 7th. So I had to do a few things to make some adjustments for that and to make sure that I had what I needed. And when it all happens, it happens, but I'm ready. But I'm ready. And that's the important thing. Aging is going to happen for all of us. All of us. If we're 25, 30, 40, 50 years old, I'm 60, and I'm doing okay, folks. I'm doing okay. So that might not be for all of us, but, it is a matter of preparing a little bit and caring for ourselves. And I think things will go much better instead of hiding from it. Don't hide from it. Don't ignore it. Because you will get older. Old age is around the corner, folks, for all of us. Anyway, if this video was helpful and supportive to you, feel free to give us a like. That helps us grow. If you are new to the videos and to the channel, feel free to subscribe. That also helps us. And, look ahead. Positive way. You can do this. You can handle this. If you've handled a life in a wheelchair, you can handle almost anything. And that's what I believe in.